Well, I'm going to start with an apology, Mariana, because um, you just sent me a message just now, and everybody feels like that after a meeting with Caroline. I need to go and get a coffee. I've just had a meeting with Caroline, I've got to go and have some caffeine. Yeah, I feel I should start with an apology because you're coming right off the back of a maintenance meeting with Caroline, aren't you?
Oh yeah, no worries about it at all. It's what keeps me awake. It's like, what time is it here? Is it? Oh, I don't know because the time I have on my laptop is the UK time. Oh,
You must permanently exist in two time zones. I don't know how you do it.
yeah, oh yeah, it's 1:40 a.m. right now here in the Philippines.
Wow.
So coffee is what keeps me going. The meeting was fine. I we had back-to-back meetings today.
It's been a lot of meetings today, haven't there?
Yeah.
How many coffees do you typically get through on a night shift?
Oh, three at most. I try to stop myself because it's not so good.
And then you won't sleep for the following day.
Oh no, the thing is, coffee doesn't have an effect on me anymore. Like I drink coffee before I go to sleep in the morning here because my shift ends
Really?
at 6 a.m. So I would literally drink coffee as breakfast before I go to sleep, and I would sleep still. So it doesn't have any effect on me anymore.
Did you hear, literally within the last week, I have finally, I think, got into coffee for the first time. So I've never drunk coffee, couldn't stand
Yeah,
it, and I don't know what changed. Our son Joe started drinking coffee as a sort of caffeine hit before his workouts and that sort of thing. And I'm trying to sort of track his nutrition program stuff. So I thought I'll give it another go. I'm not having very manly coffees. I'm having like salted caramel lattes and all that sort
oh,
of
I
thing. But
love those.
I'm just about on board. I can do it now. Is it pleasurable? Am I enjoying it? I'll get there, I think. I'll get there. It's one of
Oh,
those things that I
yeah,
really want to like coffee, but I've never been able to do it. So I'm hopeful because I love going to coffee shops and stuff, and I know you like going to coffee shops and stuff as well.
yeah.
But it's a bit weird, particularly as a middle-aged grown man, when you go to a coffee shop and order a hot chocolate, particularly when they offer you, whipped cream and marshmallows, you feel like a 10-year-old boy. It's not
Oh, it's no
respected.
judgment. Whatever, makes you happy at the coffee shop.
Anyway, if you hadn't guessed, listeners, Caroline isn't here today. I've been looking forward to this episode, not for that reason, but been looking forward to this episode for a long time, because it's a chance to catch up with Mariana properly. I know you're no stranger to the podcast, Mariana, but we've got a whole episode together, so we can really sort of get into some stuff and have a really good chat because Caroline is down at Meadowcott, down in Milford-on-Sea. Don't let her fool you. She's probably, pretending she's really stressed and she's got loads of work to do and all of that. I guarantee you she's been on a nice windswept walk with Basil down the beach and she's probably got a coffee from one of the coffee shops. So, yeah, I wouldn't feel too sorry for her.
We were going through the schedules and we had landed on a schedule where it was the weekend and we were trying to make it work. And he was like, "Oh, it's fine. I'll make it work. I'll just ask Mark for a nice dinner out." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, you definitely deserve it. Yeah, he needs to pay me some good dinner."
That usually works, to be fair. Yeah, food is a good motivator for both of us. And I think you're a bit of a foodie, aren't you, as well?
Yeah, I am. The only thing is, though, as you might already know, I don't eat fruits.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't.
That is that a problem? Is fruit quite a dominant kind of ingredients in Philippines cuisine?
Not really, because I can just avoid them.
Okay.
But the good stuff, the desserts, stuff
Mm.
like, and I might sound like I'm not really the healthiest person. I'm not good with greens at all.
So you don't eat fruit and veg, basically. And
Yeah,
is this a medical thing or is this you just don't like fruit and vegetables?
yeah, it's just I don't like them. The fruits one, I can like back myself up because it's been since I was like born. It's like been a weakness of mine. My mom used to tell me I would literally hide behind her and it would make me like vomit almost. Yeah, so yeah.
Well, listen,
I'm a foodie,
if
but
I can get into
limited.
coffee, I think you can get into fruit and vegetables.
Oh yeah, I've tried for the last 24 years.
Well, I thought to start us off, because we're going to be talking a bit about your new role,
Mhm.
and what you're doing within the business at the moment, which is really exciting. But also, I think it would be great for the listeners to get to know you a little bit better, and also to understand a bit more about the other side of the coin, as it were, in the sense that there'll be lots of people listening to this, I'm sure, who either um, have worked with a virtual assistant based in the Philippines, or do so regularly, but I don't think people are very aware of what life is like in the Philippines for you, what it's like to be a virtual assistant, how you balance, as we just said, it's about 2 o'clock in the morning where you are, how you balance that with bringing up a young family and things like that. But before we get into it, I thought to kick things off, I would ask ChatGPT what impression ChatGPT has built up of Mariana already because obviously I'm regularly communicating and explaining that you're dealing with a certain issue with the guest, and this is what we're saying. That's sort of, so. Would you like to hear what ChatGPT says about
Oh,
you?
I'd love to hear ChatGPT. He's also my best buddy, like he is with you.
How did we exist without it? So this is what ChatGPT says about you, Mariana. So, from everything you've shared so far, the impression of Mariana is very positive. Here is how she comes across: warm and empathetic communicator. The drafts you show me from her are thoughtful, polite, and guest focused. She seems to have a natural ability to phrase things in a way that reassures guests, even when the message is about a problem or inconvenience. Professional and brand aligned. Her tone matches the standard you set for your businesses. Clear, respectful, and customer centric. She balances professionalism with friendliness, which is key in hospitality. Solution orientated. She does not just deliver bad news, she frames it with alternatives, upgrades, or positive angles to soften the impact and maintain goodwill. And lastly, a trustworthy team member. From the way you involve her in sensitive guest communications, it is clear you rely on her judgment and consistency, and she represents your brand well. If I had to sum it up, Mariana comes across as a calm, capable, and guest friendly virtual assistant who strengthens your reputation by handling tricky situations gracefully. There you go.
It's a lot of big words.
End of
I love
episode.
it. Sorry, can we get?
End of episode. That's all that needs to be said. What a glowing reference, and
Yeah, that was
not
really,
in the slightest bit exaggerated. I would stand by all of that.
oh,
So
that's really
I,
nice.
I thought that was a nice summary. Particularly actually the solution focus bit, because we could start with that, because that's key in everything that you've done with us, from since you started with us, which was back in, oh God, January
Hey,
2024.
yeah,
January
yeah.
2024. Yeah. So we're not a million miles off 2 years now, that you've been part of it. And I think, if I had to pick one quality that makes an unbelievable guest manager like yourself, that's being solution focused. Because ultimately, particularly yourself, because you've worked quite unsociable shifts and you're often having to problem solve on the hoof. So, is that something that you think you have learned on the job, or is that something that has always been part of your sort of personality and your makeup? Have you always been quite independent? What do you think?
Oh, I think it's definitely more on what I've learned from the job,
Hmm.
which has really helped me a lot because I am independent. I can be independent, but you know those times when you feel like, oh, I can't do this. You doubt yourself. When I started having graveyard shifts, it's made me more like trust myself. Okay, this is what you have. This is what you can do. Just go with your gut. Go
Yeah.
with what you feel is right. And that has helped me until today to make those decisions, without, I know the team is always there, but since I have a different shift, it's helped me to trust my gut and make decisions.
Yeah.
So it's more really the job that has really helped me actually build my personality as well and my work ethics. I've always had, I've always had the kind of work ethics that I'll do my best in whatever is everything that I do. But this has like helped me really shape it.
Mm.
So I think it's really more on the job, maybe a
Yeah.
little bit of my personality, because I'm also the shy type one.
Mm.
So
You, yeah, I mean, we're always keen to like empower you guys as a team, and we've said it lots of times in the past, probably mentioned it on the podcast that we will always back you,
yeah,
in whatever decision you make, providing you can justify it, providing you've got a rationale behind that decision. It's not like we're going to be breathing down your neck saying, "Why did you do that? Why did you do that?" We know what it's like. Caroline and I did what you're doing and ran the sort of frontline guest communications for several years before we expanded the team. And we know that sometimes you have to make decisions in the hoof on the hoof, and you're not always going to get it right. So I think it's important that you all feel that you've got the backing to make those decisions, and just go with what you think is right at the time as much as anything else.
awesome. And I absolutely feel like I'm backed up with whatever decision I have. I've never felt that you were breathing down my neck or constantly micromanaging or anything like that. It's always been just the supportive kind.
Yeah,
And if I go through any like troubles or mistakes, you've always just been okay, advise me what the best thing to do is, how we can move this, how we can go through it moving forwards. It's always just been like that, which is really, really helpful
yeah,
because it's never felt toxic.
yeah. That's good. I mean, I guess you don't know any different though, right? I mean, we could be awful for all you know, because this is your first job out of university, right? This is
Yeah, yeah, that is true. Oh no, but I've always been reminded by the previous team that we had. I've always been reminded by her that she's worked for years now being a VA.
Yeah,
She's always, honestly, whenever we would talk, she's always reminded me of how lucky we were to have, boss like you and Caroline, and how rare it is to have this kind of work relationship, to have this kind of work environment
yeah,
where it's not toxic, it's supported. And she's always told me to do my best and, just be grateful that, she's worked for a lot of years and she's only encountered you guys now.
yeah,
And so she's like, you're lucky in some ways as well, because this is your first job and this is the kind of people that you work with.
yeah.
So don't worry. I absolutely feel like I'm in good hands.
Your degree was in hospitality, right? So
Yeah,
it was in kind of that. Did your degree prepare you for what you come up against and what you have to deal with in your job? Or is it like a lot of our degrees that anyone who's had a university degree where it bears no resemblance at all to real life? And it's theory is one thing, but putting it into practice is something very different. Do you feel that you were well prepared by the degree that you took?
oh, I absolutely was well prepared by the degree because I took up hospitality management,
Yeah,
focusing because we could choose a specialty, whether hotel or restaurants, and I had chosen hotels.
yeah,
And so absolutely it has prepared me because we had subjects where we would talk about how to deal with difficult guests, and I was able to actually apply that when I started working with you.
right.
So it has honestly helped me, and the kind of personality that you need to have if you're in the hospitality industry. Our professors have always told us that if you don't have this kind of personality or heart in you, you won't last in the hospitality industry. She's always told us, in some ways, discouraged us. If you don't have the heart for it, I tell you, don't go for it because it's not for everyone.
Yeah,
Dealing with guests, dealing with complaints, issues. So we actually, yeah, we went through that whole thing. And actually, most of the things that I encounter with my job now has been taught at school, which is really helpful because, I was able to, okay, I can apply this to what we're dealing with now, or I have an idea of how I can handle the guests or
Yeah.
what the business would look like. So my degree has really been a big thing for me.
And how does it fit working as a virtual assistant? So you've got a beautiful little girl, you've got a young family, you've got an extended family as well that you,
Um,
you help to support. How does working as a virtual assistant, what does that look like in real life for you, and how do you sort of balance family with work commitments?
well, working as a VA is actually a great opportunity. It is because you won't get as good pay as working here in a hotel.
Hmm.
It's not that, plus, you're physically tired. You can also get physically tired, mentally tired, but it's just not going to be worth it, working here
Hmm.
in a hotel, whereas being a virtual assistant, um, having to balance that with, you know, raising a daughter is actually a bit hard because my sleeping patterns are, so I have to have a really big help from my family, my mom, in taking care of my daughter because I'm asleep from 6 a.m. until the afternoon. So who takes care of her? So then my mom and my sister helps in until, I wake up. And it's also a good thing because then um when I can work, I can take care of her in the evenings. And actually sometimes I don't sleep and I can make it to her, her recitations at school, taekwondo practices. It actually works out, although working the graveyard shift is kind of hard,
Hmm.
but at the same time there are pros and cons. um and balancing it with the family is also, it's actually more of I have the pros rather than the cons,
Yeah.
so I'm able to balance it out well.
Yeah. How important is it for you? You have such a phenomenal work ethic, and I say it to you all the time, nothing seems to phase you. You take everything in your stride. How important is it for you to be a good role model for your daughter? Is that on your mind? Like the
So,
example that you set?
of course it is very important to me whenever, especially because my daughter is really emotionally intelligent.
Hmm.
She's the one to tell me sometimes to mom. She's only 6 and she tells me to mom, calm down. Or mom, please be patient. She really tells me that now because that's what I teach her. And sometimes you don't do what you're preaching. And so she reminds me that, which is like, oh, she's only 6. And so it's really an important thing for me to be a role model to her. So as much as possible, I always tell her to work hard and not, and everything that I give her is based on working hard. And, I always try to make her appreciate what she has because not a lot of kids have those,
Yeah,
that we're able to give her what she needs and what she wants. And
yeah,
so I always try to be as good as role model as I can be to her.
yeah. I don't you find, I mean, I find the same with my son that I don't know whether there's certainly a way of parenting. Maybe it's more dads than mums, I don't know, but where you feel like you don't want to show them any weakness. You don't want to show them that sometimes things get on top of you or sometimes situations stress you out. And I think what I've learned as my son's got older is actually showing that human side, showing the fact that, I get stressed, I get overwhelmed, I get angry, but also then I guess trying to be a good role model as to um, how you solve those situations or how you come through that. If anything, that I think that's a more powerful lesson than just trying to pretend that nothing affects you.
Oh, I'm definitely not the kind who pretends in front of my daughter. I tell her, when I'm struggling. And so when she encounters the same, when she feels those emotions where she's stressed, because she can be, and she really tells me when she's stressed or when she's feeling sad. So I don't hide those from her, and I tell her what to do, what she can do to face those emotions that she has. So I'm not the one to put a tough act. Like, no, I tell her that I'm tired, that here's what I need to do, or if you're feeling down, I'm feeling down. Maybe we can go out for some fresh air, or we actually do breathing exercises, her and me, because she had this where she would cry a lot and have a hard time breathing. And so I would tell her to, face those emotions. And we have this um, breathing thing where we do inhales and exhales until she calms down. And we even bought her like a stress banana where she can just scrunch it up when she's feeling angry or anything like that. So I think I'm more of the kind that I show her what my emotions are and then let her know that if she encounters the same thing, then
It's
here's how she
okay.
should face it.
Yeah, and it's okay. It's okay to feel like that. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, it's okay to feel like that, definitely.
I think we all need a stress banana. I need to get my stress banana.
Yeah, definitely.
Next team meeting, we're all there squeezing stress bananas.
She has it because I've told her she would like to sometimes, like when she's so angry and frustrated, she would pull out her hair. And I told her, yeah, I know we feel stressed and angry sometimes, but don't do that to yourself. So my mom bought her a stress banana.
Brilliant. I love it. So, yeah, first and foremost, everyone in the team is a guest manager. You're a guest manager. Um, you are absolutely fundamental to the experience that our guests have when they stay with us. You know, that you are the interface that they have with the business. We were talking about it a lot we had our monthly team meeting today, and we were talking about how often guest reviews mention the quality of the hosting and the communication. Some reviews don't even mention the property at all. Um,
Yeah,
and
it's
you're the
really
front line of that. How does that feel, given you're however many thousands of miles away, that you're so integral to the guest experience, but you've never set foot in any of these properties. It must have been really hard, certainly to start out with. You probably know them better than the rest of the team now, but to start out to really sort of feel like you could immerse yourself in it and make recommendations and almost, yeah, be able to guide guests the way you would if you were a little bit more in touch with the properties. That must be really challenging.
it's challenging, but it feels so empowering at the same time. And it makes me proud of myself. I'm sure the team would feel the same way when you read those reviews that you put up on the team meeting, and I was like, oh, we handled that.
Yeah.
They talked about us, the way we communicated with them, and we're not even there. And being able to handle, especially issues that arise or complaints that arise when you're not at the property and you haven't seen the whole thing or where it should go or where things are. It's very challenging in a way, but it feels really empowering to be able to do that and have those reviews come up, and they're proud. They compliment how we are as community, as hosts. um so yeah, I can't even put into words how proud I feel
Mm.
of the team as well.
Yeah. You should be. You should be very proud of yourself. I don't know how you do it, to be perfectly honest. I know we ask you to do it, and I don't know how you do it. It must be so difficult when you've never even set foot in the property to be able to provide that level of service. I think we were going through the review statistics again this month, and I think communications was 9.9 out of 10.
Ah,
And this is not one little holiday let that, is in a sense quite easy to provide that sort of level of hands-on support. We're talking sort of 60 doors, from the other side of the world. So it's phenomenal what you do. But your role is changing as well. So you've had a bit of a promotion, I guess, because it's giving you the opportunity to get your teeth into something that is much needed in the business if we're going to continue to grow and take it to the next level. And obviously, we've got Sefton Place coming online, hopefully within the next year. And so, alongside your work as a guest manager, you're now working as operations manager, responsible for both proactive and reactive kind of property maintenance and care. So really, I mean, talk about full circle from, having to help guests at properties you've never seen before. You're now literally responsible for the buildings, which is quite
That
something
I've never been to.
that you've never been to. Absolutely. So tell us a bit more then about this new role, what you're doing, what you're working on.
Oh, honestly, when you gave me the new role, I was so excited. But then a couple of days after, I was thinking all these things. I'm like, will I be able to handle that? I was so worried. I'm like, will I will be able to do the role well? Because Lisa was amazing. And you have this thinking where, can I fill her shoes? Am I gonna be as great as her? You have this all these thoughts. And all I could think was, okay, let's stop worrying about it because it's just making me so anxious. They trusted you with the role. Just do your best and take ownership. So honestly, that's how I was when you gave me the new role.
Yeah.
But now I'm gonna be the operations manager. Oh, that feels nice to say it. Um, Basically, I'm gonna be the one who's responsible for um, tracking and making sure that all the maintenance issues that's gonna pop up in the property is gonna be sorted. It's gonna be done from the start of the report until completion, making sure that the team I'm gonna be overseeing that the team contacts the right person. I'm also be gonna be the one to handle contractors, inspections, and also, what was I gonna say? I lost my train of thoughts there. And also I'm gonna be the one who's gonna, like you said, be proactive with taking a look. Okay, so this is what we need to prepare for the summers. We need to have fans in the room. Also gonna be taking a look at what issues mostly comes up with and prevent them from happening. If we can do that, of course, prevent them from happening in the future, making sure that these issues are really logged and solved, and then find ways to prevent them,
Yeah.
as well as be proactive for all the future seasons that are going to come.
That's the biggest thing for me. I think that um, we're all used to uh, the time pressures that we face to react to issues when they come up and things getting broken and needing to solve it. But because of that, you end up spending so much time fighting fires and dealing with things
Yeah.
that you don't ever take that sort of proactive approach. And that's what I think has happened. You know, Caroline and I will be at various properties at various random times, and when we're there we think, oh, we'll just check everything's okay. And but actually now I think the portfolio has reached the point where we need that systematic inspections, like you said, preparing the properties for winter, preparing the properties for summer, making sure that we optimize any gaps where we can get in and do some of that maintenance that is quite difficult to do when the properties are really busy, all of that sort of stuff. And it's really exciting to have you take the reins on that and I guess put a plan around it rather than it just being something that we kind of figure out and stumble across as we go along. So it's super exciting. And
Absolutely. I'm working hand on hand with the best Caroline.
Caroline, who is how do you describe Caroline when it comes to maintenance? She's hands-on. If you can't be hands-on because you are a million miles away. She is your hands. She's there
Yeah.
to actually get things done. No one rolls up her sleeves like Caroline does to just
Honestly.
get out there and get things sorted and stop messing
To
around.
be our maintenance person, she does everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Door handles. I can't forget this one time where her pants were wet by her knees because she was kneeling all over the floor to make sure that the carpets were dry.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, it was the knee test, wasn't it, to see if the
Yeah.
the leaking shower was still making the carpet wet. Yeah, absolutely. Um, she says she enjoys it. I think sometimes she enjoys it, sometimes she doesn't. But no, I think the two of you will work brilliantly as a team. And I think you have the benefit of distance, which I genuinely think is important because when you are here, Caroline will always jump in and sort stuff. But because of that, she'll be running around and just solving problems. And we need someone who can just zoom out and just think, hold on a minute, when are we going to do this? When are we going to do that? Let's make sure that rather than running fans out to everybody when the weather starts to heat up, they're already in position. And apart from anything else, it cuts out unnecessary communications with the team. And we've had enough cycles now to know what's coming. Um, there's always unpredictable things, but equally, some of what we do is also very predictable. And we need to make sure that we're prepared and organized for that. So it's super exciting. And you never ever cease to impress me, Mariana. The presentation, I know it was only brief, but the presentation you did with the team this morning was absolutely brilliant. And because that's I described it as a promotion because it is in the sense that it's a management role. Because you're looking after the properties, but in order to look after the properties, you've got to look after the team, and you've got to make sure that the flow of information is happening, that handovers are detailed enough and clear enough so that everybody knows what they're doing and everything's logged correctly. That was your focus, wasn't it, when you were talking to the team earlier today?
Yeah, it was my focus because I just wanted to make sure that everyone was doing the same routine so that no one misses, okay, she forgot this, okay, she wasn't able to do this, or she didn't know how to handle this. I wanted to make sure that we were all aligned,
Yeah,
because the maintenance tracking system will only be really efficient and effective if the whole team cooperates,
yeah,
and if there's teamwork. So I really wanted to reinforce that I needed all of their help to be able to oversee and maintain and get the maintenance sorted, all of it.
yeah.
So I wanted to make sure that we were all in the same page. So really down to the format. Okay, I'll just make sure they follow the same format so
Yeah.
we don't get confused with anything.
Absolutely, just making sure it's all clear and understand, and they know how to use the systems that we're using. Systems is going to be a big part of this. I know we're talking quite a bit behind the scenes about what systems we use to make sure that everything is tracked properly, but for the moment, just making sure that everybody's on the same page. And again, I think it's testament to you that obviously, Lisa's role has also changed, and she's now focusing more on the engine of the business, the pricing and the revenue management side. But no one in the team has even blinked an eyelid at you taking this on and running with it. And that I think everyone's got a huge amount of respect for what you do. So yeah, it's really exciting. It's going to help us. I think we've got big plans. We're launching another hotel. We've got Staycation Gateway on the way. And we need to give hundreds of hosts all over the UK the confidence to list with us. Um, and so I think you're going to be very much at the forefront of that. So yeah, it's really exciting. It's really exciting.
Is there exciting times ahead, and that's really nice of you to say that no one has blinked an eye. I was actually, you get that thought, okay, do the team think I deserve to have this role? You always get that thought, and
Yeah.
second guess yourself, but it's really nice to hear coming from you.
No, it's absolutely. So, and thank you so much for taking even more time out of your busy working shift to talk to us on the podcast so we can get to know you a little bit better because I know we've dragged you into back-to-back meetings. You've probably got a backlog of guests now, asking questions and needing things sorting. So you're gonna need a couple more cups of coffee, I think, to get you through the rest of the shift. But
Yeah, I haven't even finished the one I made.
yeah. So thank you so much, Mariana. It's been lovely to chat to
Thank you
you.
so much. I
Uh,
hope I was able to bring insights on
Absolutely. No,
my role.
it's been wonderful. We will definitely be getting you back on as you get more and more into this role. I think there's no one in the world running holiday lets that isn't scratching their heads about how to be better at solving maintenance issues and coordinate. And I think by the time you've been in this position for a few months, you're going to be a world leader in how to coordinate operations for a remote hospitality business. So yeah, hey, maybe you could go back to your tutor in the university and say, hey, maybe I could deliver some courses for you. I've got this
Oh,
experience
I
now.
don't think I'm one for teaching. I don't think I'm gonna go down that route.
Uh, Lovely to speak to you, Mariana.
Lovely to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me to your podcast.
Enjoy the rest of your evening. Take care.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.